Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akim. It's your brother Ratazar Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, when they give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekha Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and blessings into the hopeful and sincere elect. Now, as get closer and closer, drawing to the end of the society, the wickedness and of this society, Babylon the Great, spiritually the city of confusion, Babylon the Great, aka America, man, and the witchcraft and the mistress of whoredoms that proliferates around the four winds of the earth. These devils, these so-called white people, the wicked elite, biblically known as the Edomites, are coming out with their true spirit of Satanism, man. And now even more so, you got these Christians, the new denomination in Christianity is a witchcraft, basically. You can be a full-time witch and be a so-called Christian at the same time. It's showing you that whole religion of Christianity is nothing but goes back to pagan worship, man. And all these women are coming out, especially these black heifers. The black mambas are coming out. So-called black women is basically full-time witches now. They're declaring that they're witch, that that Satanism, that they turn aside after Satan, that tells you in First Timothy's, out in the open now. It's been proliferated, through the different media outlets, social media, so on and so forth, and even in the movies, man. Now you got this new movie called Wicked, which used to be like a theater type performance that they used to see live in the theater. They did a movie about it now. Hollywood movie, as they do. And you got these two heifers. I don't know the name of this black one with the green painting all over her face. But it's typical of a nigger woman to be, would have to be a nigger woman to be the top witch in the movie. And then you got this Ariana Grande on the right hand side, basically also being a witch as well. And they're trying to push this neutrality between white magic and black magic, when all magic is witchcraft, man. All that witchcraft is of Satanism, it's of rebellion. As the scripture says, sin is the fault of witchcraft, is the sin rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, Salakia. And that's what these women push in this society. And that even that goes back to the garden, because Eve, she was the first one to transgress. So she was basically pushing, that spirit of witchcraft back then, even at the garden, man, because she wanted to become a goddess and all that, man, and basically usurp authority over her husband, and listen to the damn serpent, man, which came in the spirit of the devil, as we know today, the so-called white man. These devils, man, the crafty ones, and these are the same devils today that are, pushing these women to push the spirit of Satanism and witchcraft, especially the nigger woman, because she always plays the devil's advocate, man. Anything the devil advocates, the nigger woman's the first to push it. That's why they got this black heifer right here with green paint all over her fucking body, acting like a black witch, man. Because she's got the spirit of witchcraft in her. She's a demon, man. She's a deviant. And that's why apostles and elders been saying for the longest, stay away from these black heifers, man. Because they are literally like black mambas, man. They're full of poison. And if you stick around too long, you're going to get bitten. And you already know that what comes after that. Even this week, I've seen news articles of these black heifers putting their babies in, cabinets and drawers, leaving them in cabinets and drawers or setting them on fire, doing crazy shit. One grandma at Thanksgiving decided to stab some of her family members and all that, which she ain't supposed to be celebrating no Thanksgiving anyway, because that's of the devil. That's another pagan holiday that these people like to celebrate. So this world is just totally out of course, man. Everything's upside down and inside out, and this is why judgment ultimately is going to come, because the spirit of this world is definitely defiled are the inhabitants thereof, man. Because they've broken all the covenants of the Lord, and there's no fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai in the earth no more. In the ancient world, nations used to tremble, especially the Israelites used to tremble at the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that would come upon them, man. They was a bit more wary, a bit more fearful. Nowadays, Jacob just proud as fuck, 2/3, proud as all hell. There's out there just being zesty as all hell. The men are being zesty and sassy as all hell. The women are being all boisterous and, being all mannish and all of that. Trying to be a man, wear the trousers, so to speak, pumping up the chest, puffing up the chest, trying to show they got authority in the society, man. It's all out of course, man. And so this is why this place needs to be turned inside out, by way of the nuclear missiles. When Jacob's trouble comes, man, the Lord's going to unleash untimely hell on you tribes, man. Especially you damn so-called Christians that into this left-hand business of the witchcraft. And they was doing this shit in the ancient world too. You had Jakes in the ancient world that was worshipping Tammuz and all of that, baking cakes and shit like that, man. In the woods, in the oak trees and all of that, man. Which goes back to different forms of witchcraft, dealing with the alchemy and all of that. That's what these devils are into, man. And that's what our people are into, because they think they can use that to make it in the society. But the Lord's got judgment coming for these black heifers, man. This is why it says many years and days and years, so you women should be troubled. You careless women, man. Because they are ease in the society, because everything's at their helm and everything's at their beck and call in the society. It's the man that has to struggle, and it's the man that catches the stick, so to be the bad end of the stick, so to speak. In this society, the women's never held accountable for all her wickedness, man. And that's why they're even pushing this movie called Wicked. Because it's about, vagina worship, basically. Proliferating the woman as they usually do, So, I'm not going to watch the movie, but I've seen the adverts. And, Esau's the devil. He's going to be pushing this shit for the kids to watch and all of that, man. To be enchanted and, put incantations and casting spells on the young ones through all these damn fucking Disney movies or whatever it is, different productions and all of that, these companies, man. Because, kids are none of the wiser, they're just impressionable. So they see this and they'll think, yeah, it's cool to be a witch. When that's a straight up rebellion of the sin of witchcraft, as I said earlier, man. And the Lord's going to destroy people that are in that spirit of rebellion, of witchcraft. What's the sin? Or what's the judgment for a witch? Death. And that's what's coming, man, for these black heifers, man. That's why Esau put Eve there, because Eve, she's the number one top witch on the earth. She's the number one deviant when it comes to that left-hand business, man. This is Exodus 22 and 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. That's exactly what the Lord said, man. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. This is straight up abomination and wickedness in the sight of the Lord's eyes, man. That's being pushed in the society. But Esau wants to talk about their God-fearing people. You got Trump talking about they want to make America pray again, holding up a KJV Bible. But they don't hold up none of the laws and statutes in the Bible, man. They do the total opposite. That's why it tells you in Psalms, the 58th chapter, what is thou to do to declare my statutes? Seeing that you hateth instruction, man. Roughly paraphrasing. And this is one of the laws right here. This is a commandment. Exodus 22 and 18 says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. That means a witch is supposed to be put to death. If you find out a witch is doing incantations and so on and so forth, you're supposed to bring her before the council and burn her at the stake, basically, like they did do in the medieval times, man. They used to burn witches at the stake. And really, that goes into, another story of the midwives and all of that, so on and so forth. But you did have witches back then also. All that mysticism and all that, the esoteric knowledge, which the elites are, still studying and using to this day. That goes back to the medieval times, man. The esoteric knowledge or so-called enlightenment, time of enlightenment, when the New World Order in 1776 was the main year, when these warlocks and witches basically declared, the secret society as as a secret government, for the top elite, basically to control the earth through witchcraft, through Satanism, demonology, and so on and so forth, man. So this is nothing new, but these devils, they're pushing it to the forefront so hard, because we're coming to the end of this wicked ass society. So Esau is basically revealing themselves. Salakia for the croaky voice, if it's cracking in the background, because got a bit of a flu and all that. Salakia, but we keep it moving, man. Keep it short and sweet anyway. This is Deuteronomy 18 and 9. Heading says spiritism, Spiritism forbidden. So this is forbidden in the eyes of the Lord, another commandment. It says, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do all after the abominations of those nations. What nations? Those Hamitic nations that was in the land, the Canaanites, so-called Africans today, because they were the founders of, all this left-hand business, the odious works of witchcraft, as it tells you in the Wisdom of Solomon 12. And this is why they got kicked out of the land, because they was doing all this witchcraft and pushing it, and then, eventually, after Jake kicked them out of the land and got rid of them, so to speak, and we inherited the land, we started to do the same things the heathen was doing, taking it to another level, especially in this society, as the scripture says, the wicked as Jacob surpassed the wicked, It says, there shall not be found any one that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, enchanter, or a witch. It says, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer, man. And this is what Jacob's doing right now. All because of Esau Edom. Esau Edom's making it legal, basically, to be a witch, man. He's basically making it look like it's a good thing. That's why it talks about the good being, they put good for bad and bad for good, so to speak. As it tells you in Numbers, Isaiah 5:20, if I'm not mistaken. It says, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. Yeah, you're a wicked abomination to the Lord, man. You're filthy, diseased, decrepit, deviant persons that needs to be destroyed. You got spirits on you, man. You got demons on your ass. It says, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy power doth drive them out before thee. Yeah, the Lord doesn't want that shit around these people, man. But Esau's pushing it around our people, saying, yeah, it's cool to be, do all that dark shit, come to the dark side, so to speak. Yeah, so this is why the Lord's gonna put hell upon two-thirds of our people, especially the nigger woman, man. The nigger woman, she's gonna get a taste of her own medicine in these last days, man. She's gonna be catching so much hell. It's gonna be well deserved, man, and no one's gonna come to your aid. Don't be screaming and crying for no man in that day, because you was screaming that you was all bad and you can do it all by yourself. You're independent and all this talk. But keep that same energy, man, when all hell breaks loose. We'll see if your broomstick works in that day. All them witches, all that witchcraft and incantations are gonna deliver you in that day, man. Because you women are gonna catch hell like never before, man. I can't even put it into words what's gonna happen to a lot of these women out here, but they're gonna be catching hell. There's gonna be a lot of death, in the air. Basically, put it that way. What's the next precept? Nahum 3, and I'll go straight to the point. Verse 4, it says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. This is talking about America. The founding forefathers and all that, they were a bunch of masons, a bunch of warlocks and witches. So this is their endorsement, man. It's from their beginning, their foundation. Like it tells you in Isaiah 30:47, it's from their youth, from their inception. So because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts. So they're the helm, man. They're the head. They're the madams of witchcraft in America, Babylon the Great. It says that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Yeah, they cast spells, man. That's why the world's under a basically spell of following Babylon the Great, following the American dream, because they think that's the way to be, get it by any means necessary, through capitalism and all of that, through skullduggery, ill-gotten gains. That's all part of the witchcraft that these devils have convinced the people of the world. That's how you have to be to make it in society, man. And straight rebellion against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's why they push all that filthy fornication that's in that cup. Prophesied in Revelations, the 17th chapter. Talk about the fornication, the filth that's in that cup, going into what? all the alphabetism and all that they push. That's part of the witchcrafts, man. Feminism and all these different philosophies of the world, man, that comes from America. That's part of the witchcraft, man. Spell binding and all that they put on people through the, the World Wide Web, through their media channels, social media. These people are under spells, man. Mass spells, basically. So this is why these people are going to be taken out. The Lord said that the whole head is sick. They're revolted and gone, 2/3, man. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face. Yeah, this is why they're pushing this. They're pushing the spirit of witchcraft and that. They're just coming out with it because the Lord's, uncovering the mysticism and the mystery of Babylon the Great, the witchcrafts and all of that, man, which is America, and their wayward philosophies, the perverseness, same as Sodom and Gomorrah. But this place is like Sodom and Gomorrah on steroids, man. America, man. And the shit that they push. So the Lord says he's going to discover the skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Yeah. And all these nations know that America was built of witchcraft, man. Because they're, most of them are involved. They're involved with that harlot, man. So, them too, these heathen nations too are going to go down with this sinking ship known as America, Babylon the Great. And it's all said and done. And then you got the wicked elite. They're going to be even more so in these last days, pushing more, Satanism and pushing it to the forefront as part of the New World Order, One World Order religion, so on and so forth. But it's not going to deliver them in the time of the Lord's judgment. When the Lord visits Egypt, which is modern day America, he's going to destroy this place, man. He's going to melt it. He's going to melt it with that fervent heat from the ICBM missiles and the laser beams from the chariots, man. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof. Isaiah 19:3. It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the council thereof. Yeah, the Illuminati, so-called enlightened ones. The Lord said he's going to destroy their council. The beast with the 7 heads and 10 horns. These European conglomerates, they're all going to fall. Rome's going to fall again, because America is modern day Rome. And it says, and they shall seek to their idols. It says, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Yeah, so they're going to seek to them charmers and all that. That's why they're pushing this shit right now, because they're basically trying to push for more Satanism and, left-hand business on the earth, so they can appease their leader Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, so they can get more blessings for their new world order, so to speak. But it's all going to come to naught. It's not going to flourish like they think it is, man. All these sacrifices and all of that, it was all done in vain, man. Because at the end of the day, this kingdom's going to be destroyed by way of nuclear missiles. And the Lord said he's going to melt this place, man. And then these devils, starting with their councils, their wicked elite, they're going to be the first crops of slaves in the Lord's kingdom. So all that they're doing is in vain, It's all going to come to naught anyway. But they're gonna try and do all the shit that they can, so they can hold on to their so-called New World Order. It's all gonna go down. It's all gonna be cast down into the, into the furnace of the fire and brimstone, man. Which is gonna be America, that lake of fire. Yeah, basically America on fire. So Isaiah 19:1, it says, the burden of Egypt. It says, behold, the Lord rideth upon the swift cloud, which is talking about the chariots, the white man called so-called UFOs, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt, come into America, basically, and the idols of Egypt, all the standing engraven images, that's going to be destroyed. It says, shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So everything, all the standing engraven images, all these incantations and phallic symbols, all of that shit is going to be destroyed, man. All these witches and warlocks, they're going to be destroyed. And anyone that's left on the shores of America, they're going to be burnt with all that fire, man. They're going to be doused in that lake of fire. They talk about tell everyone. Wicked. See, this is what Esau does, man. This is that wickedness hidden in plain sight type shit. predictive programming, man. But all this shit's gonna backfire anyway. You black heifers, love being playing the devil's advocate. You and your sugar daddy E, the Edomites you're going down, man. Them that are joined hand in hand are gonna fall together, man. And the wicked shall not go unpunished. And that's for Ariana Grande is also witchcraft art. She's gonna be put to death anyway. She came out and declared saying, yeah, she's a full-time witch and all of that. And I'm serious. That's what she said in the interview. Because this is what they're into. This is part of that Hollywood experience. You have to be a deviant and do all this debauchery and wickedness to be part of that society anyway, man. So they're just basically putting it out there of their true spirit and who they truly worship, which is Satan, But they're all gonna die anyway, so that covenant of death is gonna be disannulled. That's for sure. Anyway, with that, give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.